Hey guys, welcome to Proto. So this is the sixth part of our tutorial on creating a URL sorting application in Node.js with Flutter integration. So in our previous part, we have created an API through which a user was able to submit a long URL which gets converted into a short URL in return. And now in this tutorial, we are going to create an API through which a user can submit a short URL that was generated and he will be redirected to a long URL. Okay. So let's get started. Okay, so here as we have created this route, so let me create another route. So this will be a get method. So here short URL, a callback function. Let's create which will hold a request response like this, a callback function. So now here from the front end, we are going to get a URL that was created. Okay, so before that, let me show you how this function works now. Okay, so now when I submit a URL, okay, so let me change the URL now. Okay, so instead of that, let me use this one. Okay, as a long URL. Okay, I'm going to pass a user ID and long URL. Okay, so in return I get a short URL as you can see over here. So this is the short URL which got generated. So now when a user visits this, I want to redirect the user to this URL. When the user hit this, I want to redirect the user to this URL. Okay, so let's do that now over here. Okay, so let me show you one thing. So when the user hits this short URL to redirect himself to this URL, he is going to pass this short ID for us. So this is a parameter for us for the backend. So we need to access that parameter. So this we need to search this parameter in our MongoDB database. Okay. So when we have submitted a URL, you can see when I have submitted this long URL, I have stored this data in a database collection in which I have also stored my short ID. Okay, so now when the user want to retrieve this particular data, he is going to submit this ID. Okay, when I submit this ID, I want to get all this data from the database and then redirect the user to this long URL. Okay, so let's do that now. So here const short URL is equal to request.parameters. Okay, so in request.parameters, he is going to pass that particular URL ID. Okay, so this parameter will come in parameters, request.parameters. Okay, so we can get access to that. So now I want to check if this exists in our MongoDB database or no. So if it exists over here or no. Okay, so let me write a MongoDB query for that. Okay, so here const URL is equal to await user submit model dot find one, and we are going to find this URL submit some short URL. Okay, so make sure that whatever parameters you are making use over here, it matches with this parameters. So you can see it is matching over here. So whatever you give over here, it should match. Okay, so if it do not match, for example, if you give this parameter as URL, okay, so you need to access it with this URL string itself, URL data. Okay, so I'll just change it. Okay, so now over here I can just pass something like this, sorry, like this. I hope so you got what I mean to say over here. So here find one by short ID. So short ID will get replaced with this actual URL. Okay, and we will get the data. Okay, so let me log this and let me show you what we get. URL data. Okay, so let me save this, stop this, and run our Node.js project again. Okay, so now if I hit this, okay, so let's check the log. Okay, so we get this data. So we have just printed it over here, and you can see the data got fetched from the database. Okay, so I just need to get this from this data. I want to just get this long URL and redirect the user to that particular URL. Okay, so for that, here if user data, URL data, if it exists in our MongoDB database, then we are going to redirect the user to a long URL. Else we are going to show a response to the user that invalid URL. Okay, so you can just show a message. Okay, so status false. Okay, and message, we can just keep some message. Okay, so now here we need to redirect the user. Okay, so request response dot redirect the user data dot long URL. Okay, so you can see user data. So this is the user data, and from this data I am going to fetch this data, that is long URL, and I'm going to just redirect the user. Okay, so let me save this file, stop our application, and run our Node.js project again. Okay, so now here, okay, so it got missed. Yeah, so this is the URL. Okay, so I'm just hitting enter over here, so you can see I'm getting redirected to our original long URL. Okay, so let me show you one more thing. Okay, so what I can do is I can just submit another URL. Okay, so this is the same thing. Yeah, so I can just use this. Okay, so I'll just submit one more URL. Submit. Okay, so this is the new URL, a short URL being generated for this long URL. So now if I browse this thing, okay, you can see I'm getting redirected to a original URL. Okay, so that's all for this video tutorial. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe. Proto Code as point. Thank you.